Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Monday, October 16th. We're going to take a look at Asana today. So Asana trying to push here, getting pretty stuck at the moment in this area last swing, but if it can put in an additional swing high here, this could get pretty interesting. Now there is a little bit of a gap that got left down here. That said, it's a bit of a gappy machine. You see one over here as well. So something to maybe just be aware of for the time being, but I'm not going to sort of grab all these because there's so many. I mean, a bunch of these are filled obviously, but there's for whatever reason on this guy there's just gaps everywhere. So in any case, you see here recent lows coming in pretty tight to the lows over here, 1568 versus 1541. So there's a little bit of a range there where obviously the bulls get pretty interested and seem to come and buy up those cheaper shares than they were previously. But we have seen it dip lower earlier in the year even than it was. So I'm going to put in a few of these just in case something really wacky happens and it gets pushed down significantly. So I'll plot it down to 1430 there. I don't see a huge need or reason to go crazy or go much lower than that. You see topping out here, you see previous support that flipped to resistance here, resistance there, and then there was this gap that flipped from resistance to support, confirmed support here, and then pushed through this zone again on this swing. And that's right where it's topping out at the moment, almost to the penny. So this is the question is, can it push through here? Does it continue to get stuck like it was over here? And if it does get through, can it swing high? That swing high itself is also an interesting level because you see resistance here, resistance to support here, and then resistance here. So also a pretty critical level there, right at that 1927 area. If it can push through there, it certainly may have some ups, if you will, some ability to get up. And we'll put this gap here. We'll gray it out so it doesn't, super stand out on the chart. But if we get into that range, we will notice it most likely. But yeah, that would take it up to a little over 20 if it does come up to fill that gap. And there's a little something else up here, like I said, it could bring it up closer to 21, but if it gets motion there, we can come check back in on it and see. Now I want to fill in some levels obviously between this 1569, this 1856. If it does pull down a little bit, then obviously those would become important. Let's see, we got one here, 1790. Hey folks, just so you know, you can get these videos early and ad-free. If you click on the description below and become a member, you can make that happen, and I really appreciate the support. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the video. 1721. Maybe just one more. Let's see. I like that one there. No, one more. Okay, let's go here. All right, so if it slips through these levels, these are the potential support zones that I would see below the price. If it does push through this 1856, then, I would look to see if it can confirm support there and potentially make a run at this 1927 level, or if it gets stopped out here. The high on this day was 1914. So, like I said, for me, most interesting thing if I'm a bull is 1856 break and then swing high. So swing high, at least get higher than 1914, sort of see what takes shape after that. Like I said, we have a resistance level right on top of that, so that would quickly come into play. Now if we flip over here to the think or swim study, it is pressing the mid-range of the channel So it's done the thing that we always expect it to do, spent some time outside of the channel, worked its way back in, now is pushing against the mid-range, but it's just kind of stuck there for several candles at the moment, and at the same time, the TTM squeeze indicator is triggering. So when that fires, do we get a big move? Did we get one here? Triggered, same setup, stuck to the mid-range, triggering, and then here's where it fired. And when it fired, it gave sort of a shrug off of the mid-range of the channel, and then yeah, this brought it from like, what was it on this day? It was about 20, and that brought it all the way down here. So really strong percentage move on the last trigger and fire. This trigger and fire, a little bit more herky-jerky, but again, similar-ish setup. Pinned to the mid-range of the channel as it started triggering on the TTM squeeze indicator. So I'm always really interested when the price is situated at the mid-range and that's where it starts triggering. Question always becomes, what's the move? If the TTM squeeze indicator even gives you the right indication, right, that the trigger and then the fire brings this burst of a move, which direction is it going? That's still the question. And of course, as we sort of saw on this example, it can sometimes just sort of misindicate, right? This was sort of a little bit of just a roller coaster. But this one is more clean and clear in my mind. So I'm interested to see what it does there. RSI obviously on the rise, but in a neutral trend at the moment, just hugging this mid-range. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week got off to a good start today. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.